Hello, my beautiful souls. I'm Veronika Starr, your soul embodiment and alignment specialist. I'm so happy that you decided to find out a little bit more about your quantum human design. So, today we're going to talk about your type. And your type is kind of like knowing what kind of car you are. So if you think you're a big truck made to go up the hill, but you're actually a beetle that's made to zip really quickly through the city, then you might get yourself stuck in the mud. So we're going to talk a little bit about what your type is so that you can find the right path that's made just for you. Let's get started. Hello, my beautiful projector. In the quantum human design, you are what's known as the orchestrator, and you make up for about 20% of humanity. So you are our third rarest type in the quantum human design. So it's very normal for you to feel like you are different. You are different. You do not work like the majority of the world. You don't work like the generators, and the generators make up for 70% of humanity. So we are quite different than them. Yes, I am an orchestrator as well. So we are here to be the guides of the world. We are the seers of the world. We have a way of understanding energy that the other types don't necessarily have. We see things that the other types don't see. And we are constantly holding up the energetical grid of humanity. So we can get exhausted a lot easier than the other types. So it's quite normal for us to be nappers, for us to get exhausted really easily when we're around a lot of people. Every one of us has an open sacral. Immediately, once we have an open sacral, we're either a manifestor, reflector, or orchestrator. But all orchestrators have an open sacral. And what that means is we have a way of absorbing energy that isn't ours. So it's really important for us to have time alone, to have at least 20, 30 minutes before going to bed by ourselves, even if we're with a partner, especially if our partner is a generator type. Ideally, we should be sleeping in a different room than them. But if we really like to cuddle, then ideally we'll go into the room at least 20, 30 minutes before our partner so that we can release the energy that doesn't belong to us, so that we can come back to ourselves. So we are not designed to do all the work. We are here to organize the systems, to guide people through the most efficient way of doing things. We're here to optimize systems. And that's something that can be difficult because the world doesn't necessarily value our skill set, right? The world is made for doers. It's made for people who go, 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 push, push, push. That is actually detrimental to our nervous system. It's really important for us to have moments of solitude, of quietness, of slowing down, because we're very intuitive beings. But in order for us to listen to that intuition, we need time, we need space, we need silence. Now, our intuition works very differently than the generator types, for example. When we say we get this gut feeling, that doesn't work for projectors. Projectors don't get this gut feeling because our sacral is open. Automatically, if you're a projector, your sacral chakra is open. And when it's open, we tend to absorb energy. So that's what makes us empaths, because we feel the energy of other people, right? But if we're feeling the energy of someone else, that's not our energy, right? And so if we're in the moment trying to find our yes and no, feeling into that energy, thinking that it's intuition, we might be getting influenced by the people who are around us and say yes, and then go back home and go, why did I say yes to this? I don't have the energy. I don't have the bandwidth for this. I don't have the resources for this. And wonder why we did that. And it's because in the moment when we were looking for that answer, we were being influenced by the energy of someone else that was around us. So the most important thing to know as a projector, as an orchestrator, is that you need time by yourself, especially when making important decisions. The best, most optimal way for you to make decisions is to sleep on it, to say, hey, you know what? When can I let you know by? Can I sleep on it? Can I tell you tomorrow? Can I tell you next week? All right. And then go back home in your safe space, or go in nature. If you live in the house and you have kids and you have your partner and there's a lot of people in the house, go find a little place where you can be by yourself so that you can release the energies of other people, come back to your own energy and ask yourself. And it's going to be in a contemplative way. And depending on whether your emotional solar plexus is defined or undefined, and we can only know that looking at your personal chart, then we can have an idea of how much time that may take. It might take a few hours, it might take a few days, right? Depending on your emotional solar plexus. So time is on your side in the sense of you need to use time to be able to feel into what's true for you. So that also means that you need a lot of rest, right? Orchestrators are great nappers when we know how to do it correctly, no more than 30 minutes. Um, And meditation is something that's really optimal for us as well. Walks in nature, just having these moments to be by yourself. We like to be in community as well, but it's important to have those times where we can just completely be by ourselves so that we can release the energies that we've absorbed and really come back to ourselves. Our signature emotion is success. So when we're feeling successful, this is when we know that we're aligned, when things are really going the way that we need them to be going, right? When we're feeling bitter, this is our shadow emotional um, theme. So bitterness is letting us know that we're depleted. It's letting us know that we are not being recognized. We're not being appreciated for what it is that we're doing, and that we're out of integrity with one or many of our resources. So understanding what our resources are and staying in integrity with them is really important to us specifically, so that we can have the energy to be able to sustain projects, sustain relationships. Our energy can be quite sensitive. We can be more prone to burnouts than the other types because our energy is quite sensitive and it can get depleted quite easily. So for generators, they go to bed, they wake up, they're refreshed most of the time, especially if they're in integrity with their resources. That's true for everyone. But for us, just going to sleep isn't enough to re-energize us. We need to be in integrity with our resources. We need to have alone time. And we need to have contemplation time, because that's when our superpower really works, really gets awoken. Um, Oh, yeah. The other thing, that the way that our energy, our superpowers get activated is by receiving invitations. So we're not here to initiate relationships. This is true whether you're a man or a woman. We're not here to initiate projects. We're here to be invited into them. Now, this can feel a little difficult, right? It's not like a passive, just waiting around to be invited. You want to talk about what it is that you want to manifest in the world without going to chase it. Going to chase it will almost surely deplete you, and make you feel better, because this is not the way that our energy works. When we get invited into something, when someone recognizes us for our value, for our superpower, for our skills, for our wisdom, and they invite us into something, boom, we get awoken, we get lit up, and then our energy is really coming through. So this can look like also insight. Right? We're very insightful people. We're very intuitive. So we'll be having a conversation with someone and we'll see the solution to the problem, like so obvious. And if we just tell them what the solution to the problem is, they might feel like, whoa, like I didn't ask you, like, who do you think you are? Or, I didn't really ask you for your opinion, or it just might go right over their head. They might not listen to it. So the best way to do that is, hey, I've got some insight on this. Would you like me to share what I'm seeing? All right. So once they say yes, then we receive the invitation. Now our energy is being called in, like, yeah, I'd love to hear what you have to say. And it's like, boom, then the way that we're saying it is being received. It always makes me think of vampires, right? They have to be invited into the house before coming into the house. That's kind of how we work. We're not energy vampires. But we do need to be invited into things in order for us to be lit up. So there's just a little bit about your type, and there's so much more to be said. I hope this mini session resonated with you enough to want to dive in deeper, because this is really just the tip of the iceberg. A typical session takes from 90 minutes to 2 hours to get through. During this session, we're going to dive in deeper in your type. We're also going to look at your profile, which are the different archetypes that you're working with. We're going to look at the chakra system, which are your centers, which ones are defined, which ones are open, what does that mean, and how to work with them in the most optimal way. And most importantly, we're going to look at your life purpose. Why are you here? What are you meant to do? What is it that really drives you to evolve in the most aligned and optimal way for your unique chart? So if this resonates for you and you want to dive in deeper, you can go ahead and reply to the message. I'm going to send you a link to my calendar so you can book the moment that works the best for you. And during our session, you'll get a recording of our session so that you can rewatch it at any time. You're also going to get a personalized PDF with all the insight that we talked about. And you're going to get a what's called a self-evaluation resource. So we're going to talk about your resources and how to stay in integrity with them. Because the chances are, if you're losing energy, if you're feeling depleted, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling out of alignment, it's because you're out of integrity with your resources. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And we're going to do an embodiment practice, because this is all really beautiful information. But what do we do with this information? So I'm going to show you where these things live inside your body so that you can fine tune yourself to them, so that you can listen to them, so you can feel them. You can align yourself with your intuition. Our intuition doesn't live in the same place for all of us. So you're going to find out where your intuition lives, where this mechanism, how this mechanism works, so that you can listen to it, align yourself with it, and trust it. Thank you for your time. I look forward to diving deeper with you. And until then, stay present and remember who you are. Have a beautiful day.